Welcome to lecture 19 of Fundamentals of Materials Processing, and we are in module 2 discussing thin film deposition techniques. In the previous lectures we had discussed how a thin film starts to grow and what are the parameters which control what kind of morphology we will get in our thin film. Okay. In this lecture also we will continue our discussion on thin film morphology, and in this we will discuss a model which is called zone structure model. Okay. So, before we start we should discuss what are the different parameters which influence the morphology. Okay. So, we are discussing thin film morphology, and this is the morphology means what is the structure of the grains in the thin films. Are they coarse grained or very fine grained? How many grains? What is their growth direction? Are there any voids or empty spaces, defects in the film? Okay. So, we are discussing all these aspects. Okay. The main process parameter which influence thin film morphology, we had discussed this, that is substrate temperature, okay, which we can call Ts. Okay. We had also discussed deposition rate. Okay. We can there are some other parameters. We had discussed these two parameters. There are some other parameters like surface roughness of the substrate. Okay. This also influences how your thin film microstructure will look like. Okay. Deposition technique. Okay. Okay. And also material of the film. So, these are certain aspects which influence the morphology of the thin film. So, now we come to the zone structure model. Zone structure model. This model was first proposed for thermally evaporated films. Okay. And later on this was also this model was evolved to incorporate sputtered thin films as well. Okay. And these models are mainly for the polycrystalline material, crystalline thin films. So, if you recall from the previous lecture, we had discussed that at the extreme ends of the two range of process parameters, we will get either epitaxial thin films which are single crystal on a substrate, or we will get amorphous thin films. Okay. The range in between these two extremes was for polycrystalline thin films. So, these the zone structure model describe how these polycrystalline thin films will evolve and how their morphology will depend on various parameters. Okay. So, this zone structure model is will discuss in a little bit of detail. Keep in mind that though these have been described for either thermally evaporated films or sputtered thin films, which so these two techniques which we call physical vapor deposition, but these can be again on case to case can further be enhanced to incorporate chemical vapor deposition as well. Okay. Now, so let us have a look at this complicated diagram which describes the zone structure model. zone structure model. Okay. Now, if you see in the bottom most part of this figure, there are two axes. One is substrate temperature and another is the inner gas pressure. Okay, and this is the substrate temperature and this is the pressure of during your thin film deposition process. Okay. Now, this process is have different zones. If you see that this is called zone 1, zone 2, zone T, okay, and zone 3. Okay. So, these all zones, so this structure can be divided into 4 zones. Okay. And this is in a simplified diagram, it is shown here, zone 1, zone T, zone 2 and 3. Okay. And here this is a substrate temperature and this is the substrate bias voltage and this is for sputtering, specifically for sputtering, because you can in the sputtering you have a plasma and you have charged species and you can apply certain bias voltage to your substrate which will change the morphology also. Okay. Because it will change the at which rate the ions or the material ions are approaching your substrate. Okay. So, we will discuss these zones individually in the next few slides and discuss how different process parameters affect these. Okay. Okay. So, first we will discuss zone 1 or we can call it Z1. Okay. Now, zone 1 morphology exists under the conditions which are that Ts over Tm is low, okay, which describes low surface diffusion. Okay. So, Ts is the substrate temperature, Tm is the melting point, melting temperature of thin film material. Okay. So, if the substrate temperature is very high, then and very close to the melting temperature, then you would approach that we have very high surface diffusion, but when the surface temperature is low relative to the melting temperature, then we have very low surface diffusion and we are in zone 1. Okay. Now, this for two different kinds of films. For evaporated films, this Ts over Tm is less than 0.3. Okay. So, if your substrate temperature is less than 0.3 of melting temperature, for thermally evaporated films you will get zone 1 structure. Okay. For sputtered films, okay, if Ts over Tm is less than 0.1 at low pressure, okay. If you recall that in the previous slide the pressure was also a variable at around 0.15 Pascal or around 1 millitorr. Okay. Then if you are in these conditions, then you will get zone 1, or if you are at higher pressure, then you will get zone 1 up to very high temperature, high pressure around 4 Pascal or 20 to 30 millitorr. Okay. So, these are the conditions which give you zone 1 structure. Now, what is zone 1 structure? We will discuss this in slightly more detailed. Okay. So, this is my substrate on which I am depositing my thin film, and in this zone structure model it is governed by shadowing effect. Okay. because surface temperature is low enough. So, there is very low surface diffusion. So, once an atom or molecule gets to the surface of the substrate, it just sits there, it does not move on the substrate. Okay. So, what happens that you start with small clusters and you keep on depositing on that, okay, like this, and slowly you will have this kind of grains. Okay, I am just enhancing this, and you can have like this kind of grain structure. Now, recall, as soon as you have a certain layer, suppose I show it here, right, and you have a directional input for thermal evaporation or sputtering, this area which is very next to this growing thin film is not receiving because of shadowing effect. Okay, because any molecule which is coming will get absorbed here rather than go where its shadow lies. Okay, so it will grow like this. Okay, and when it grows like this, then it will create more and more shadows, and sometimes it will leave voids in the thin film. Okay, voids and lot of grain boundaries, because it will start with this. Okay, so the thin film zone or the zone which the structure which describes this zone is you can say that columnar structure with voids, okay, dome shaped top of columns, okay, and very rough surface. Okay. So, it will be like this, right. So, it will be columnar growth with dome shaped tops and lot of voids. Okay. Now, because of these you will get slightly different properties of this material. Okay. So, the properties of these thin films would be very hard, these thin films would be very hard due to high dislocation density. And we know that dislocations are the stress points in the thin films, where when the two dislocations get interlocked, they doesn't allow the material to yield, and the material becomes very hard. Okay. So, this is zone 1 structure, and it is mainly governed by shadowing effect. Okay. Now, we will come to zone 2, or before we go to zone 2, the other zone which is called zone T or ZT. Okay. And this is observed for sputtered films only. So, this zone, so the morphology of this zone is usually not present in thermally evaporated thin films. Okay. The conditions for this zone is Ts over Tm between 0.1 to 0.4 if the at low pressure, around 0.15 Pascal, okay, and Ts over Tm between 0.4 to 0.5 at high pressure, around 4 to 5 Pascal. Okay. So, this is the conditions for zone T morphology to be observed. Okay. And it can be in between. So, you need to have an idea about which kind of zone you will have if your conditions are somewhere in between. Okay. Now, this structure is described as, so this is my substrate, and my structure of thin films is very fine columnar growth like this. Okay. Okay. So, the structure of films is fibrous grains, which means grains are elongated in the direction of growth, okay, and they are thin, okay, they are small in diameter, okay. Dense grain boundaries, and voids are still present, though it is very dense, but there are still some voids present in this, okay. And due to this, the properties of the thin film, so this has high dislocation density, which gives it hard, okay. It has high strength and low ductility, okay. So, these are the properties of the thin film which you observed in zone T kind of microstructure, which is long and fibrous grains, okay. The next zone is zone 3, sorry, zone 2. This is the next zone, and in this condition the surface diffusion becomes significant, okay. Okay. Now, the conditions for this are, since surface diffusion is higher, you can expect that the surface temperature or the substrate temperature is high for these two conditions, and at these conditions now pressure does not play as big a role. So, pressure is not very important. So, for thermal evaporation, this Ts over Tm, relative temperature of the substrate, is between 0.3 to 0.5, okay. And for sputtering, this Ts over Tm is somewhere between 0.4 to 0.7, okay. Now, let us discuss the structure of this film. So, this is again my substrate, and in this you observe the structure, again it is a columnar structure with very tight grain boundaries, okay. And these voids are filled by surface diffusion. Okay. So, this will be your structure of the thin film in this case. So, let me structure is column. Again, it is because of during the deposition there is still shadowing effect. So, the thin film grows in columns, but since the substrate temperature is high enough, then some of the atoms start to diffuse on the surface and fill the voids, okay. So, this is column with tight grain boundaries, okay. Voids are filled by surface diffusion, okay, and it has fewer defects because now some of the defects which are present when the thin film is growing because of higher temperature, they get annealed out, okay. And it has faceted column tops, Okay. So, the column tops are not no longer rounded, because any material will try to adapt to certain kind of grain structure. Okay. Now, and in any structure, any polycrystalline material, certain directions of any crystal would be low energy planes. So, the material will try to have that low energy planes exposed, not the high energy planes. Okay. So, that is why it will try to adopt such that those low energy planes are exposed, not the high energy planes, and that is why it gets more faceted column tops. Okay. In the zone 1 we had discussed that we have round tops, because that is how the material gets deposited, and if it has not enough energy to find the low energy planes or facets, it will just sit there like dome tops. But once the atoms and molecules which are getting deposited have higher energy or to diffuse, they will find that low energy planes, okay, and then will give rise to faceted column tops. Okay. The properties of these type of films, so these are hard, okay, and have low ductility, okay, because of high number of grain boundaries, okay, they have low ductility. Okay. Now, we will come to the last of the zones. Let us discuss it here, zone 3 or Z3. Okay. Let me separate this out, we can discuss this part here. Now, in zone 3, it is the conditions for evaporation are Ts over Tm 0.5 to 1. So, very close to melting temperatures, and sputtering also it is Ts over Tm 0.6 to 1. Okay. So, very close to melting temperature, very high surface diffusion. We are not melting it, okay, it is just close. Okay. Now, the structure of these films will look like, which we expect in any polycrystalline bulk material. If you crystallize it or from melt, it will have the structure with big grains, okay, with very few grain boundaries. So, the grains start to grow, okay. The grain with preferential crystal orientation will like to grow more, okay. Okay. So, the structure of these films would be large grains, and these are no longer column type, because as soon as the material comes to the surface, it has high enough energy because of high surface or substrate temperature. It will start to find the grains which will minimize its energy, right. So, it will start to diffuse on the surface. It will not wait till it starts to form a column and then starts to surface diffuse, because it has an energy enough to find to help the large grains with preferred orientation to grow. Okay. So, large grains with preferred orientation, okay, a much smoother surface, because now we have because of surface diffusion, the material will try to diffuse, and the grains will start to coalesce, as we had discussed in the previous lecture, and they will try to form neck, and then due to sintering effect also, the material will try to go into the neck region and will start to give you a much smoother surface. Okay. The properties of these is fewer dislocations, and so these are softer films with high ductility. Okay. Ductility is the term which we often use for metals. Okay. So, this is the grain structure of zone 3. Okay. So, let us go back and just look at this complicated film structure also. So, if you see this structure which is zone 1 with lot of voids here and the large big columns with dome shaped. Okay. Zone T, which is shown here, it is very long and thin grains with voids, and these are called fibrous grains. In zone 2, you can see that these are faceted column tops with almost no gaps between the grains. Okay. Or these columns. So, these voids are filled. If you go further to zone 3, you can see at higher temperatures these have large grains of no preferred orientation. So, these are no longer like columns. Okay. So, this is the different zones in a very complicated process, and which so zone 1 is governed by shadowing process, zone T by surface diffusion, zone T and zone 2 both, zone 3 is by bulk diffusion. Okay. Now, come to this. This is especially for metallic thin films. Okay. This is the same principle. Sometimes you do not get large, so this is the towards thickness. Okay. So, and different zones, zone 1, zone T, zone 2 and zone 3. Okay. In this sometimes you do not get columns, but you get very fine grains which are equiaxed. Okay. And towards higher temperature you get extensive grain growth and you get very large grains with very few grain boundaries. Okay. So, this zone structure model gives you a guideline to adjust your substrate temperature related to the melting temperature of the material that you are depositing, and also to change the pressure to see what kind of microstructure you will prefer in your films. Okay. As I had said on the first slide, that this is largely for physical vapor deposition methods, because of the reason that substrate temperatures for chemical vapor deposition are usually very high. Okay. But this model can also be adopted for low temperature CVD processes to describe the grain structure of those thin films. Okay. With this we will stop with our morphology and of the thin films. In the next lecture we will discuss how to characterize these thin films. Okay. Thank you.